Welcome back to Roundtable Talks. My name is David, and today we're here with Giancarlo. Thank you, Giancarlo, for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Giancarlo, you started in the business mostly focusing on pre-construction. I know since joining our office, you've made a real push and have been successful on increasing your resale business. So that's great, but I want to focus on the pre-construction. Why did you choose pre-construction over resale when you first came into the business?
Well, pre-construction was sort of like, when I got into the business, I started working with somebody, right? And it was just something that was, thrown to me. And I was just interested in learning that aspect of the business. It seemed like a lucrative area to focus on, and just kind of was thrown into that, and it just went from there.
Well, out of the clients that you're working with are obviously all buyers. On the purchase side, most of them I would assume are investors. Is that correct, or do you have a lot of end users that are buying pre-construction?
It's a good mix of end users and investors. I think, pre-construction appeals to certain people, right? Like people that perhaps can't qualify for a mortgage today, but they sort of kind of want to get their foot in the door and, lock in the price and get into the market. So, and then I also have the investor clients that, that are looking to, diversify their portfolio. They're looking to, build some equity, and, I guess pre-construction is a good avenue because they're able to, leverage, right? And so I have a good mix of both, I'd say.
And now in the market that we're experiencing today, are you finding it a little bit more difficult or challenging to have, let's say on the investor side, purchase pre-construction? And if you are, how are you getting over that hurdle?
Yeah, I would say, obviously the biggest difference between resale and pre-construction is the price, right? When you're buying pre-construction, there's obviously a premium on the pricing. A lot of my investor clients, they've done well, right? But of course, right now there is some hesitation with everything that's going on in the market. But I always try to tell people, if you're not investing in pre-construction or resale, like where else are you putting your money? And I think right now, the way that I'm sort of overcoming that hurdle right now is just kind of putting it, making sure that they understand, their closing is going to be, 4 or 5 years out. So, whatever's happening right now with the interest rates, it's not really going to, nobody knows where the rates are going to be, but the way I look at it is people that bought when the rates were low, they had no idea where the rates were going to be 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
So it's no different, right?
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think that's one thing that I've seen is that what we're in today, I think a lot of people talk about confidence. Maybe there's no confidence within this short period of time.
Yeah.
But when you're buying pre-construction, that's the beauty of it, I guess, is that you're buying 4 or 5 years out, maybe even 6 years, depending on the project. And the likelihood of the market being down 6 years from now is probably unlikely, I would think. Timing-wise, it may drop at that time, but it will probably be still up from what it is today. And I think investors realize that. And with the staggered deposits, they feel comfortable that they are putting their money somewhere, and most likely will get a decent return on their investment when the time comes, whether they sell it or hold on to it for a few more years and then sell at that point.
Of course.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think 4 or 5 years out, you should be okay on the investment. Resale side of things. How are you dealing with resale and getting the clients?
And getting the clients.
And talking to the clients to see, like, is it a right time to buy a right time to sell, or is it a right time to buy?
Yeah, nobody has a crystal ball, so it's hard to, say with certainty, but what I tell my seller clients is, they're still buyers. People are still buying, life is still going on, people are getting divorces, people are coming to the country, they need a place. That has not changed. So I mean, I think the biggest problem right now is that people, when they look at what they're looking to come out with from the sale, they're still thinking about the numbers that we saw at the peak of the market in March.
Right.
And that's not realistic. So, that's I think the most important thing is educating your client on that. The numbers that we saw before, those numbers are not, you're not going to look at those. You can't compare to that. But I guess everybody has a different motivation for why they're selling.
Life goes on. There's always some circumstances that are happening. People have to either buy or sell for whatever reason. Do you find a lot of agents are taking some time off now and they're not really in the market in the sense of they just, sales are down 50%, we're gonna take some time off.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're not. You're here working diligently every day.
Trying.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, what are you doing in order to keep top of mind with because the ones that are top of mind are the ones that I think are going to capture that business. For the people that are coming into the market.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the most important thing right now in this market is just continue to be top of mind by nurturing those people that you have in your database, connecting with them. It doesn't necessarily have to be always trying to sell them, or it doesn't always have to be real estate, but it's just having some sort of rapport with them, right?
Yeah.
I think if you stay on top of mind when they are ready to buy or sell, they're gonna come to you.
For sure.
Right?
I think you just have to keep top of mind, and that's through communicating with your
educating them,
and communicating, offering
them free
value.
home evaluation, doing talking about the market, whether you want to do like a blog or you want to do some sort of video. I think that's important in today's market, right? You want to make sure that they understand that you're not in you're not in Costa Rica, but you're still active, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the number one thing.
It's funny with the real estate market that we're in, on the pre-con side, the launches are still happening.
Yeah.
There's still people in the sales offices. It seems like that market you could say it's slowed a bit, but there hasn't been any real drastic changes. Sales are still being done on a decent clip when it comes to pre-construction.
Exactly, and I think what you're seeing right now is a lot of developers. There's no price drops, but they're offering a lot more incentives. So
Right.
I think now, if you are looking to buy pre-construction, this is the time you want to be looking at these different projects, because you'll have more options to choose from, and you'll have better incentives. So.
I want to thank you, Giancarlo, for joining us today. Please remember to hit like on this episode and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, enjoy your day.